Okay, let's try and unpack this. Just imagine for a second a world where building, sophisticated digital tools isn't something only tech experts can do.
Right. Tools that could genuinely help solve community problems.
Exactly. What if that power, that capability, was available to pretty much anyone, putting it right into the hands of people who really understand their local challenges?
Enabling them to turn their own knowledge into something that, well, creates income and actually makes a difference.
And now, picture that kind of empowerment happening specifically across Asia, a continent with just incredible energy, massive talent pools.
But also facing some really unique, very localized challenges.
Yeah.
Things that need tailored solutions, not just generic ones.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Because today we're doing a deep dive into a recent press announcement. It's about the launch of something called WealthWeaver by EON Reality, and it's specifically focused on Asia.
Okay.
So our mission here is to really dig into this announcement, understand what WealthWeaver is actually designed to do over there, and pull out the key reasons why this kind of thing matters right now.
And we're working from that single source, the press announcement itself. It seems pretty comprehensive, lays out the platform, the goals.
And give some solid examples, too, which is helpful.
Yeah, it definitely helps make it concrete.
So let's start with the basics then. What is WealthWeaver? The announcement calls it a transformative digital incubator platform. What does that mean in practice?
Well, at its heart, it seems to be about enabling anyone, and they stress this, regardless of technical background, to create, launch, and importantly, earn income from these things they call intelligent digital agents, Agent IPs.
Agent IPs. Okay, so like digital tools built by individuals, powered by AI and XR.
That's the idea, and the term code-free authoring really stands out in the description.
Yeah, I saw that. So you really don't need to write lines of code.
Yeah.
And it uses XR, you mean like virtual or augmented reality?
Exactly. The code-free part suggests intuitive interfaces. Think maybe drag and drop, visual tools, rather than complex programming.
Yep.
You bring your idea, your knowledge, and the platform gives you the building blocks. And yes, the XR integration means these agents can be immersive, interactive, which is vital for practical use cases.
And it works on different devices.
Apparently so, from smartphones right up to dedicated headsets, so aiming for accessibility.
And the stated goal is turning that user knowledge, that creativity, into digital tools that have a real-world impact. Why specific focus on Asia, though?
They say it's purpose-built for the region. Asia's got this huge, diverse talent pool, right? And it's dealing with very specific, often highly localized challenges, think agriculture, urban issues, education, that differ dramatically place to place.
So the platform aims to tap into local ingenuity to solve those problems.
Exactly. It's about providing tools to unlock the potential that's already in Asian communities, opening up routes to what they're calling digital prosperity and sustainable growth.
Okay, that framing makes sense. Giving the tools to the people closest to the problems. How does the ecosystem actually work then? How does it support these creators? The announcement mentions a few components.
Yeah, it breaks it down. There's the no-code, low-code interface we talked about, making creation itself accessible.
Right.
Then the XR integration, which crucially includes support for local languages. That's huge for making immersive tools truly usable across diverse communities.
And usable on devices people already have, presumably.
That's the implication. Then there's a big piece on education and mentorship, providing training, guidance from experts, community support.
And then the part about making money from it, the marketplace and monetization.
Yes, that seems critical to the model. It's designed for secure deployment, licensing. The potential for sustainable recurring income for creators is mentioned explicitly.
So it's not just building tools for good, it's building a potential livelihood.
That seems to be the dual goal.
Yeah.
And they also mention a community-driven growth aspect, connecting creators, students, entrepreneurs to share knowledge and collaborate.
Looking at the benefits they list, it really lines up with empowering individuals. That's interesting for anyone, looking to gain knowledge and apply it quickly. It talks about democratizing access to digital entrepreneurship.
Yeah, and specifically points out youth, women, rural communities.
Groups often left out of the tech boom.
Exactly. By lowering that technical barrier and offering an income path, the idea is to include them. And because people are creating within their communities, they can tackle challenges they understand intimately.
Like the examples they gave, urban congestion, agriculture, climate resilience.
Right. These aren't abstract problems. They're daily realities for many. Having solutions designed by locals means they're more likely to be relevant and effective.
It also mentions building digital literacy and future skills. That feels essential everywhere. but maybe especially in fast-changing economies.
Absolutely. And this approach fosters what they call bottom-up innovation, instead of top-down solutions pushed out from elsewhere.
You get locally relevant ideas built from the ground up.
Precisely. Solutions that might then be scalable. And again, that point about working on readily available devices is key for bridging the digital divide. No need for expensive, specialized hardware just to get started.
Okay, let's make this more concrete. The announcement gives some specific examples of these agent IPs. They really illustrate how local knowledge translates into these tools.
Yeah, the examples are quite diverse. Take the Smart Rice and Agri Optimization Agent. This isn't just some generic farm app.
Right.
It's meant to use AI for very region-specific advice pests, crop cycles, rainfall patterns specific to, say, a particular valley or region, and then use XR to actually show farmers best practices visually.
Wow, okay. Directly aimed at boosting yields and income for small farmers.
Exactly. Then there's the Multilingual EdTech Learning Support Agent.
For education gaps?
Yes, AI for personalized tutoring, test prep. But the real power here is operating in major local languages, Mandarin, Hindi, Bahasa, others, and using XR for immersive learning in things like STEM subjects. Think about trying to provide equitable education resources across so many different languages. This aims right at that challenge.
That's a huge undertaking. What about financial access?
They mention a microfinance and digital wallet agent. This targets connecting unbanked people to digital finance.
A massive issue in many parts of Asia.
Huge. So it uses AI for guidance, again, in local languages, and XR perhaps, to help people practice digital transactions safely, build financial literacy. It's tackling those core hurdles of access and understanding.
Very practical. And one more, on disaster preparedness.
Yeah, the Disaster Preparedness and Community Resilience Agent, this one delivers localized alerts for specific threats, typhoons, earthquakes, whatever is relevant locally. And importantly, uses XR education, so families, schools, can actually practice emergency responses in a safe simulation, building that muscle memory for resilience.
What connects all these, it seems, is that potential for the creator, the person with the local knowledge, who builds the agent to earn recurring income.
That seems central to the WealthWeaver model, yes. It's an economic engine tied directly to positive local impact.
And the quote from Dan Lajerskar, the chairman of EON Reality, really sums that up. Do you have it there?
I do, he says. Asia's dynamism and diversity are key drivers for global innovation. Through WealthWeaver, we are unlocking new opportunities for millions, enabling entrepreneurs and educators to craft solutions that matter most in their communities, driving shared prosperity and empowering a digital Asia for the future.
That really captures it, leveraging regional strengths, empowering local creators, aiming for shared prosperity. It's ambitious.
Very. And the announcement also stresses collaboration, working with universities, governments, NGOs, incubators.
Which makes sense. You'd need that kind of support network, right? Mentorship resources, helping these grassroots ideas actually scale.
Absolutely critical for widespread impact, especially across such diverse regions.
So, for you, the listener, tuning into this deep dive, what's the big takeaway from this WealthWeaver announcement?
Well, I think it shows a model where powerful tech, AI, XR, is being deliberately designed to be accessible, to be usable by ordinary people within communities.
It's not just about giving people access to technology, is it?
No, it's about leveraging their own knowledge, their creativity, to solve their specific problems and create their own economic opportunities. It's trying to drive change from the bottom up.
Almost democratizing the act of innovation itself, putting the power to create directly into people's hands.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It highlights how tech can potentially be a catalyst, not just for, getting online, but for fostering real sustainable innovation, equipping people to tackle big issues, poverty, education, climate change, using tools they actually build themselves.
Which leads to a final thought for you to chew on. If empowering people and communities to build their own AI and XR tools can reshape local economies and solve grassroots problems in a place as vast and dynamic as Asia, what might that look like? What possibilities could that unlock, maybe closer to where you are?